Sup guys, and welcome to Matt's Games. In this video, I'm gonna talk about games that in my opinion deserve a sequel. The first game or franchise is Prototype. The game or the franchise where a virus took a form of, in the first title, Alex Mercer, and in the second title, James Heller. It's a free roam open world RPG game where you simply go through the story, through quests, missions, and acquire various powers and stuff like that. The story though isn't that important. What is important is what the game outside of the missions offers. The game puts you in a position of a character that is progressively, essentially close to indestructible creature. Those who played it most certainly know how fun it was to jump or glide or run through the city and pretty much not being afraid of anyone and anything. Because powered enough, both of them could withstand a hit from a missile or a fall from multiple stories. While there are some similar games, pretty much none of them are recent. But unfortunately, it's highly unlikely that we'll ever see a Prototype 3 game or any game in this franchise, since the studio behind these two titles was closed years back. It was called Radical Entertainment under the wings of Activision. And since the second game didn't sell well, they had to close, and maybe with the studio's downfall, a potentially great sequel was met with its doomsday. But it's not strictly about a game like this or this game, this franchise. It's also about the lack of games like this. But I made a video about this before. The next game is Vampires: The Masquerade Bloodlines. This game, among not many if any like it, offered the player to choose from a variety of different vampires, with each of them having their own set of skills and powers. Again, it was an RPG, or well, it still is an RPG, where you could progressively improve your character. This game was developed by the game studio Troika Games that was closed back in 2005 because of funding problems. And again, vampires, werewolves, and other fantasy creatures offer great lore for a video game. So it's quite ironic that companies want to make money and want to offer something that many gamers would want, and still they ignore lores that are not used, or at least not so often used, and could make a great project out of it. PlayStation 2 offered a lot of really interesting and entertaining titles, with Urban Reign among them. A game where you again could choose from a variety of different characters with which you could fight against enemies. You could have played in single player or multiplayer. And this game offered it all. There were kicks, punches, and you could use the environment in ways that not many games today offer. Only Street Warriors Online is a game that kinda is, or at least looks like, to be inspired by Urban Reign, but with its content and possibilities, it's far from it. And this game is again a nice example of gamers wanting more sequels or more titles in the franchise, but aren't willing to support the developers, so they just go bankrupt, or there isn't enough interest shown in sales, so the game studio just throws it aside. Moving on to the Bloody Roar. Now, among all of those fighter games, this one was definitely different and special, since you didn't just play as a character, as a fighter. You could turn your character or your fighter anytime during the battle into a creature of some kind. One was a wolf, one was a chameleon, and one was a robot or something like that. A cyborg probably. This game had some technical problems in the beginnings, but they were taken care of because what I played was an awesome game. There were even some official statements from the studio itself, Hudson Soft, about Bloody Roar 5 being released someday, but somehow, as the years passed, only rumors remained. On to the next game, Sleeping Dogs. It's not in every game that you get to play as a detective/gang member, well, to be more specific, a Hong Kong triad gang member, getting to chase other gang members throughout the city in high-speed car chases, or beat them to the ground with a wide variety of different attacks. But not only the game mechanics were interesting and really fun, but the game story was really catchy and interesting to the end, which not many games today achieve, especially when looking at the numbers of hours it took to finish the story. Sadly, a sequel was never to be released. Only a title that in some way at least looked like to be inspired by the original game. The studio standing behind this game is United Front Games, studio that was unfortunately closed in 2016. A fun fact, the studio consisted of former members of EA Black Box that stands behind the successful franchise Need for Speed, Rockstar Vancouver with Max Payne 3, Radical Entertainment with Prototype, and Volition with the Saints Row franchise. Now I don't know how about you, but in my opinion, Sleeping Dogs 2 could have turned out to be a huge success. Well, Sleeping Dogs was a success, but apparently not a financial one. The next game is probably a huge thing for fans of strategy games, because it's black and white. Now, for many of you, that might not ring a bell, but a strategy game offering you the chance to control a huge animal from pretty much its birth, or at least a period close to it, and throwing around fireballs and lightnings and all that kind of stuff at your enemy, well, that's a thing not many strategy games offer. Well, to be more specific, none, besides this one. The thing is that Lionhead Studios that made this game faced some financial problems and had to close down in 2016. This was the last game that I wanted to mention, and there are certainly more, so you can post them down in the comments below and we can talk about it. It's really sad that so many companies just look at the numbers. I mean, I know it's a business and not selling well enough means that there is probably not enough interest in it. The thing though is that some titles get a sequel even though the latest release had miserable sales, but some that could have been potentially great don't get a chance. So, having all that said, again, if you like, you can post your opinions or any games that you think deserve a sequel in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this one, subscribe, share it, and I don't know what else there is to do. So, have a nice rest of the day. I hope that I'll see you in my next videos. So, until then, bye.